Okay, this is CHIJ St. Nicholas Girls' School for Primary 6 Mathematics 2022 Preliminary Examination. So I will be going through some questions for paper 2 today. Okay, so only selected questions. I will skip question number 1. So I will jump straight to question 2 first. Now the figure is made up of two identical squares, P and Q, and a rectangle R. The area of the figure is 512 cm square. So the perimeter of P is 52 cm. Find the area of your rectangle R. Now, first thing first, you have to identify these P and Q are your squares. And if you're given your perimeter of P, which is your 52 cm, means I can find one side of my P first. Okay, so how do I find one side of my P? I will take my 52 cm. I divide by 4 first. So I will get 13. Okay, so I know now that one side of my square is 13 cm. Okay, once I get my side of my square, you can find the area of your square P. So area of your square P, 13 times your 13, means your area will be 169. That's for one square. But because there's two squares over here, you will multiply your 169 by 2. Okay, so 169 times by 2. I will get 338. Okay. So if once I get my area of my two squares, I can subtract from my whole figure. So 512 minus of my 338, you get your answer for your area of a triangle R, which is 174. Okay, so it's 174 cm square. Okay, let's move on to question number 5. So we'll skip question 3 and 4. Now, question 5 is on your line graph. So the line graph shows the amount of points needed to exchange for free gifts at a supermarket. So this is my graph. So 1,000 points is 5 free gifts. 2,500 is 10. So you realize that at every junction, right, at every point here, you will see the correlated number of free gifts. Okay. So for part A, how many free gifts can be exchanged with 2,800 points? So this is one way you can do. Okay. So if I want to find out exactly how many points I need to get my gifts, I compare the difference. So if I'm looking from 1,000 points to 2,500 points, okay, so 2,500, I minus off my 1,000 points, I get 1,500. So this is the increase in the points. And you realize there's also your increase in the number of your free gifts. So from 5 free gifts jump to 10 means there's an increase of 5 free gifts. Okay, so 5 free gifts is the same as your 1,500 points. Okay, so five gifts, the value of your 5 gifts is your 1,500 points. So if I want to find for one gift, okay, I will take my 1,500 points, I divide by 5. So I divide this by 5. So it means that I get 300 points. So I know that every one gift, if I want to get one free gift, I must accumulate 300 points. Okay, now you're looking at your 2,800 points. So if I look at the numbers on my axis, right, I will look for the one closest to my 2,800. In this case, your 2,500 points. So at 2,500 points, I can get my 10 gifts. Correct, which means that you will need to find your remaining points. So I take my 2,800, I minus off my 2,500, means that you have your 300 points. And 300 points just nice can get you one more free gift. So if I want to find my free gifts altogether, I will take 10 plus 1, means I will get 11 free gifts. Okay? Okay. Now for part B, Hyphen has already earned 2,000 points. How many more points does he need in order to exchange for a total of 27 free gifts? Okay. Now this one, same idea. So I look at the number of free gifts over here is 27. So if I look at my graph, the one that's closest to 27 is your 25 free gifts. And this one require me 7,000 points, which means that you will need to find out for 2 more free gifts. Correct? So what do? I go and find. So for 2 gifts means I require 2 times my 300 points, gives me my 600. Okay, so 600 points. Then your 25 free gifts over here is 7,000 points. So total points you require is 7,000 plus your 600 points. So this is 7,600. Okay. Then if I want to find how many more points you need in order to exchange, so I will take my 7,600. I minus off my 2,000 points. So I need 5,600 points more. Okay, so 5,600. So that's the answer for your part B. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 6, I will skip. Course 6 is quite straightforward, so you may refer to the solutions in the PDF form. Now let's move on to question number 7. Now at a cafe, Mona bought 6 chicken wings. She also bought 3 fruit tarts at 150 each. Loretta bought 9 chicken wings. Altogether, Mona spent $3.90 less than Loretta. So how much did one such chicken wing cost? Okay, so Mona, she bought 6 chicken wings and 3 tarts. Loretta, she bought only 9 chicken wings. Okay, and I also know the cost of my 3 fruit tarts by taking my 3 times my 150 first. So 3 times the 150, you get $4.50. This is the cost of your fruit tarts for Mona. So we'll need to present my information in a model form. So let's draw the model for Mona. So she spent on 6 chicken wings. And she also spent on $4.50 for the fruit tarts. So this is my $4.50. This is the cost of my 6 chicken wings. Okay. And then for Loretta, so Loretta is actually more because she bought 9 chicken wings. And you know that her model must be longer than Mona. So I draw something like this. This part here will be my $3.90. And the whole model will be for 9 chicken wings. Okay, so you should have something like this for your model. So once I have this model drawn, you can easily compare your chicken wings. So 9C minus your 6C means that you know that this portion here will be the cost of 3 chicken wings. Okay, so how do I find this cost? I add my $4.50 with my $3.90. So 3 chicken wings is your $4.50 plus your $3.90. So I get the cost, which is $8.40. That's for 3 chicken wings. And you want to find the cost of one. So 1 chicken wing will be your $8.40 divided by 3. So 1 chicken wing cost me $2.80. Okay, let's move on to question number 9. So here I will skip A is on your algebra. So for question 9, this is on your rate. Now papers of different masses were sold at Crafty Paper. The prices for the masses of paper are shown in the table below. Ethan chose a stack consisting of 35 sheets of paper, which has a mass of 15 grams each. So how much did he pay altogether? Okay, so let's find first thing, the total mass of the sheets of paper. So I'll take my 35 sheets. I multiply by 15. So I will get my 525 grams. This is 35 times by your 15 gram. Okay, maybe I just show my gram. Erase everything. So 35, you multiply by your 15 gram. Okay, so I get my 525 gram. So that's the total mass of the sheets of paper. So if you're given this table, you need to find the one closest to your 525 gram. So 50 gram is $2, 120 gram is $4.50, 200 grams is $8. So you realize that you must take your 200 gram. That's the maximum, okay, of the mass of paper. So 525 gram, I minus off my 200 gram. So I get my 325 gram. So the first 200 gram is your $8. Okay, so this is your $8. So this 325 gram must belong in this category for every additional 100 grams or part thereof. So I have 325 gram, which means you need 4 groups of $3.80. Okay, because our part thereof is the extra 25 gram. So this 325 gram, if I were to split this up, you got 3 groups of 100 gram. Maybe I just show this way. So you have 3 groups of 100 gram. Okay, plus your 25 gram. So this is considered as your part thereof, your extra. Okay, so you need 4 groups of your $3.80. So 380, I multiply by 4. So this gives us $15.20. Okay, once I get my additional $15.20, add back to your $8. So $15.20, I plus my $8, I get my $23.20. Okay, so that's the answer for this question, $23.20. Okay, maybe I make this a bit neater in case it's harder to see my tool. Okay, so $23.20. Okay, let's move on to question 11. So question number 10, I will skip. Okay, 10 is on your volume. I think it's okay. So question 11 is on your geometry. Now, ABCD is a rhombus. BD and BE are straight lines. Now, part A, circle the words that describe BCD in the statement. If you're given a rhombus, means all four sides are equivalent. So you can draw in your sides. And these lines, they are parallel to each other. So you can draw in your arrows as well. So the first statement they give us, now BCD is or is not an isosceles triangle. So BCD is actually your triangle over here. Look at the markings. BC and CD, they are the same. So this is an isosceles triangle because your BC is equal to your CD. It's a rhombus. Now part B, find angle DBE. So how do I find this angle here? So let's find angle DAB first. Okay, angle DAB equals to your 360 angles at the point minus of your 256. So I subtract this, I get 104 degrees. This is my 104. And because this is an isosceles triangle, I can find this angle ABD. Okay, so angle ABD is your 180 minus your 104. And then you straight away divide this by 2. Correct, because it's your base angles of your isosceles triangle. So this gives us 38 degrees. So this is 38 degrees. This is also 38 degrees. So I know for sure that this angle DBC is also 38 degrees. How do I know? Because it's your rhombus. Okay, so for rhombus, if you cut this diagonally across, right, a rhombus, these two angles, they share the same value. So angle DBC is also 38 degrees. So now I can find my answer, angle DBE. I will take my 38 minus of my 16 degrees. So this will give us the answer, 22 degrees. Okay. Okay, next one. Question 12, I will skip as well. It's on your bar graph. So let's move on to question number 13. Okay, so this is on your ratio. So Alan, Brian, Carl, and Dan share a box of game cards. The ratio of the number of game cards Alan has to the total number of game cards Brian, Carl, and Dan have is 1:5. Okay, so let's record your ratio down. So first ratio given is my Alan to my Brian plus Carl plus Dan. So this is 1:5. Now, the ratio of the number of game cards Brian has to the total number of game cards Alan, Carl, and Dan have is 5:7. So Brian to my Alan plus Carl plus Dan. This is my 5:7. So that's the next ratio given. Okay, so find the ratio of the number of game cards Alan has to the total number, to the number of game cards that Brian has. Now, once you plot your ratio, look for your common base. So my common base in this case is actually my total. Okay, total is our common base. So my total here will be 6. My total for my right-hand side will be 12. So since my total is the common base, I must make sure that my numbers tally. Right now it doesn't because my left side here is a 6. My right-hand side here is a 12. So I must multiply this by 2. Okay, so I get my new ratio. 12:2:10. And then there's no change to my right-hand side. So if I want to find my answer, the ratio that Alan has to Brian, so Alan has 2, Brian has 5. So the answer is 2:5. Okay, now for part B, Alan has 30 game cards. How many more game cards must he buy so that he has twice as many game cards as Brian? Okay, so let's record again. Alan to Brian, the ratio is 2:5. I want to give game cards. Sorry, not give. So you want your Alan to be twice as many game cards as Brian. So twice of Brian means that Alan becomes 10. Brian still remains as 5. Twice of 5 means you get 10 for Alan. Okay, so I know now that the increase over here must be my 8 units. 10 minus 2 means you need to purchase 8 units of game cards. And I know that you have 30 at first, and this 30 represents my 2 units. So 2 equals to 30. Find for 1 unit. So 30 divided by 2, I get 15. And I want to find for 8 units. Okay, so 8U means 8 times by your 15. I get 120. So he has to purchase 120 more game cards. Okay, let's move on to question 14. So this is on membership promotion. Buy the first air fryer at 15% discount. Buy second air fryer at 30% discount. For non-members, enjoy a 10% discount for each air fryer. Okay, now Mrs. Wong paid 3 for $1 for 2 air fryers by using the membership promotion shown above. So how much would she have paid for 1 air fryer if she was a non-member? So I know first thing I must do is I try to find terms of the units. So let's let the original price be 100 units. Okay, so let the original price be 100 units each. So 1 air fryer costs me 100 units. So if I'm a member, I get 15% discount, which means that I'm paying for 100 units minus my 15 units. I get 85U. Okay, so first air fryer, 85U. Second air fryer, 100U minus your 30% discount. So I'm purchasing at 70 units. So if I'm a member, 85 plus my 70U, this will be my 155 units. And I also know that my 155 units cost me $341. Okay, so 155U equals to 341. I find for 1 unit. So 341 divided by 155. So 1 unit cost me $2.20. And you want to find the cost if I'm not a member. So non-member, I get 10% discount, which means that I'm paying for 100 units. I minus off my 10U. So you're paying for 90 units. This is a non-member. Okay. So 90U, I will take my 90 times by my $2.20. So the cost of a non-member for 1 air fryer will be $198. Okay, let's move on to next one, question 15. So Frederick had some coupons to sell at a fun fair. Each coupon costs $5. On the first day, he sold 264 coupons. On the second day, he sold 1/5 of the remaining. So let's highlight keywords. So first day, 264. Second day, 1/5 of the remaining coupons, 1/5 of the remainder. On the third day, he sold the rest of the coupons, and this was 1/3 of the total number of coupons sold on the first 2 days. Okay, so part A. Now, what fraction of the total number of coupons did Frederick sell on the first day? So this question here, I need to draw my fractions model. Okay, so let's draw our model. So I will draw my rectangle first. Okay, I don't really like to draw models over here. Okay, let me draw. So I will cut off 264 for the first day. So you can put this as first. Then this is my remainder. Okay, so R stands for the remainder. So for the remainder, I will cut this into 5 parts. Okay, let me try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/5 is on my second day. It's my second day. And then for the third day, he sold the rest. Okay. So the rest means that the rest of the coupons is for my third day. So you should have something like this for your model. Okay, to understand the question better. So if I look at the third day, this third day here is 4 units. Okay, so third day, 4 units. So I can find for my first and second day. Correct, because third day is 1/3 of my total. Maybe I put 1/3 over here instead. Okay, so 1/3 total is 4 units. So if your 1/3 total is 4 units, means that my total will be 4 units plus 4 units times 3. Okay, sorry, hold on. It's not 1/3 of the total here. It's 1/3 of the first 2 days. Okay, let me erase off. Okay, this is not 1/3 total. This is 1/3 of the first 2 days. Means 1/3 of your first and second day. So 4 units. If I want to find for my first and second day, I must take my 4U multiply by 3. Correct? Because your 1/3 is 4 units, means first and second day must be 12 units. So once I know this is 12U, I can find for the first day by minusing off my second day. So 12 minus your 1, because second day has 1 unit, means you have 11 units. This is for my first day. Okay, so what fraction of the total number of coupons? So altogether will be my 4 plus my 12. Okay, so total, my first and second is the 12 units. I plus my 4 units. 4 units at the back for my third day, means my total is 16 units. So what's the fraction? Will be 11 over my 16. Okay, so each coupon costs $5. What was the total amount of money Frederick collected from the sale of coupons over the 3 days? So let's find the quantity of the coupons first. So if my 11 over 16 is my 264 coupons. Okay, 264. I can find for 1 over 16. So 264 divided by your 11. I will get my 24 coupons. And then you will find for your 16 over 16, your total. Okay, so 16 over 16. Your 16 times your 24. I will get my 384 coupons. So 384 is the total number of coupons over the 3 days. But you want to find the money you collected, I must take 384, I times by $5. Because every one coupon I sell at $5. So I get 1,920. Okay, 1920. Okay, let's move on to the next one, question number 16. Also your geometry question. Okay, so question 16. EFG and KLN are triangles. KLN is an equilateral triangle. So I will draw my sides, the markings. So these 3 sides are equivalent, which means that these are all 60 degrees. 60, 60, and 60 degrees. So KL is parallel to your JG. So JG is this one. And JG is parallel to your MN. So you can draw in your arrows. Okay. So part A, find the sum of angle FEK, this angle, and angle GFE, this angle. So I must try to find this angle KEJ first. Correct? If I know this angle, I know this corner is 73 degrees. I can find the sum of these 2 angles I want. So let's look at this 60 degrees angle. Now you see your Z shape over here, your alternate angles. So use a highlighter. You use and highlight your alternate angle, your Z shape. So if this LKN is 60, means this corner here is also 60 degrees. Okay. The same for this angle here. This is also 60 degrees. If I look at this Z shape, you can think about this as your corresponding angles. Your KHJ and your KNM, they are the same 60 degrees. Okay. And if I look at this corner, these parallel sides, I use another color. Your EM and your KN, these two lines are also parallel. So if you recall back your interior angles, okay, any interior angles in between your parallel lines, they will add up to your 180. So you can tell that this corner here is also 90 degrees. Because this is 90, 90 means that this must be 90. So I know I can find my angle KEJ first. Okay, so KEJ is your 180 minus 90 minus 60. So I get 30 degrees for this corner. Once I know this angle, I can find my answer. So I will use another color highlighter. Okay, I will focus on this triangle FEG. So you see this triangle FEG? I have this corner 73 degrees, right? I have this corner which is 30 degrees. So my sum of angle FEK plus angle GFE is your 180, minus of my 30 degrees at the corner and my 73 degrees. Okay, so I get 77 degrees for part A. Now, second one, find angle KJH. Okay, so KJH is this angle here. Let me erase off these markings to avoid confusion. Okay, so let's draw in. So KJH means I'm looking at this angle. So how do I find this angle? Okay, so if I look at this alternate angle, this one, okay, you see this alternate angles. If this angle is 44, means this angle here is also 44 degrees. Correct, your angle JKH. So this is 44, this is 60. I can subtract 44 and 60 to find my answer. So angle KJH is your 180 minus your 60 minus of your 44. So I get my answer 76 degrees. Okay, so this question tests you on your angles. The angles, properties of angles related to your parallel lines. So your corresponding interior angles and your alternate angles. Okay, once you see the Z shape, you remember the properties, it's easy for you to solve this question actually. Okay, let's move on to the last question for this paper. Now, the rectangle is made up of identical squares of sides 28 cm each. The outline of the shaded figure is formed by 5 identical quarter circles, 4 identical semicircles, and 2 straight lines. So what is the parameter of the shaded figure? Okay, so what you can do first is you assign letters. So we'll let my semicircle here takes up A, the arc. So you see this arc here, I will make this as A. My quarter circle will be B. And then you will have your 2 straight lines later on. Okay, so if I mark this out as A, I will have to label my sides. So let's look at the semicircles first. A, 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 and A. There's 4 A's. There's B, 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 the arc, B, and B. And then your straight lines, 1 here, C, and then there's also 1 over here. Okay, this is your C. So I know that my parameter is made up of 5b for E first, okay, 4a plus my 5b plus my 2c. So A is your semicircle, your B is the quarter circle, and your straight lines is the C. Okay, so how do you find this parameter? So you need to go and find one by one first. Let's find for 5b, 5 of the quarter circle. So I got 5 times by 1/4 of my pi r square. So 22/7. And then my radius of my quadrant. So my radius is the 28 cm. Oh, sorry, hold on. Not pi r square, that's error. Perimeter means the circumference, so 2 pi r. Okay, so 28 times 2. Or pi times your diameter. So 5 times 1/4 times 22/7 times your 2r, your 2 radius. I get 220 cm for the 5p, which is the quarter circles. And then for the quadrant, 5p is the quadrant. And then for your semicircles, will be 4 times of your half. Okay, so 4 times half times your 22/7. Okay, and then times by 28. Because my semicircle, the diameter here is your 28 cm. Okay, so I get 176 for my semicircles. So I have my quarter circles, I have my semicircles. I will add on 2 straight lines. So these 2 straight lines is your 28 times 2. Okay, so I will take my 220. I plus my 176. I plus my 28 times 2. So I get my answer 452 cm. That's the answer for part E. Okay, so if you actually label your letters, it's actually easier for you to record down the parameter. Okay? Now for part B, what is the area of the shaded figure? So area of the shaded figure, you can do some shifting. Okay, so maybe I show you first over here what things to shift. Let me erase this off. So you can shift this to form a very nice square. So if I shift this over, this quadrant shift over here, or maybe you can also shift this boomerang. Okay, so boomerang shift over here. This part is shaded. So all the shaded ones I will just shade like that. Okay, then this semicircle bring upwards. This one. Okay, so you bring this upwards. This part is also shaded. Okay, maybe I put cross for those I really counted. So this is out. This is also out. Okay, then this part semicircle shift over here. This part is also shaded. So I put a cross. Then this part, this boomerang, I shift over here. Then this part is also shaded. Oops, sorry. Okay, so all these are crosses out. So do you see that what's left is four squares? This 4 squares is shaded, correct, inclusive of this quadrant. Because this quadrant got no partner. So you want to find the area of the shaded figure is your 4 squares plus your 1 quadrant. Okay, so 4 squares will be your 4 times your 28 times your 28, area of your square, length times by 4 squares. And then for your quadrant is your 1/4 of your pi r square. So 1/4 times 22/7. And then for this quadrant, if you recall back, the radius is 28. It's a huge circle. So it's a radius of 28. So times 28 times 28. Okay, so if I work this out, I get 3136 plus my 616. So I get my answer 3752. Okay, so that's the answer for part B. 3752 cm square. Okay, so that's all for this paper, CHIJ preliminary examination paper 2. So thank you for watching this video.